Good morning to all of you. I hope all of you are covering all the lectures. Okay, really careful. Fine. If you are missing one of the lectures, any one of the lectures, then trust me, you are going to misqualify this examination. Are you getting me or not? Because till now, whenever you will not understand the whole points, then you are not at the level, okay, which will give you the confidence. To that confidence, you will achieve the target of UPSC examination. Fine. Today, I have talked to my all the faculties like Ravi Ranjan, Anup Ranjan and Priyanshu Raj. These are the core faculties members of our UPSC examinations. Okay. These are the core member faculties. Fine. So, these will take separate classes. Someone will take environmental classes. These are really important faculties. Okay. These faculties have much more experience than 10 years. So, don't worry. Stay with us. Okay. Just stay with us. It is possible that for some time we will pause the class, okay, after 1 or 2 days because of the reasons that we have to research on the whole organization regarding the infrastructure and all the faculties of our institutions. Because I have already told you that all the core members are not present. So we have to discuss, analyze the whole things according to the examinations. Okay, these are the core members. These will actually lead you to such a position by which you are going to achieve your goal. So I hope all of you are really happy. Fine. So which topic I have started today? Are you getting it or not? That is NHRC, National Human Rights Commission. Yesterday I have covered some of the main points. Okay, that when it was established, which kind of body it is, constitutional, statutory or cabinet resolution. Okay, so it is a statutory body. Fine. I have already told you about it in 1993. Fine. And this NHRC is established basis on which of the act. Since it is a statutory act, a statutory body, so just told me that on which of the act it is based on. That is NHRC was based on. So that is Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. Remember this name, otherwise you are going to miss 1 mark question. Fine. Okay, are you getting the whole things or not? If you are not getting, just see the previous lecture again, then see only this lecture. Otherwise, you will confused. Fine, because in Niti Aayog, in NHRC, SHRC, Election Commission of India, these are so conclusive body that some of the points will look like same, but however they are alike, not like. Okay, so in those confusing topics, you have to remember those facts. Are you getting in the whole things? Yesterday I have told you one important thing, that whenever there will be appointed of any judge of Supreme Court or High Court under the members or the chairperson of NHRC, then definitely President will have to consult Chief Justice of India, means Chief Justice of Supreme Court, CJI of India, CJI, okay, Chief Justice of India. So right now who is Chief Justice of India? Justice Ramanna. Fine. Are you getting the whole things? It is all over. I hope it is clear about the sitting judge, present judge, retired judge. It doesn't look matter that I have to explain it again. Fine. So these are the important aspects, because in each and every word UPSC is going to confuse you. They are not some kinds of examination that will somehow mismatch their syllabus. They are actually moving around their whole syllabus. But somehow they twist the question, the same facts again and again each and every year. And you will be confused in those questions. That's why I have clarifying all those aspects, like what is difference between union, federation, comparison between federation of USA and federal structure of India. Fine. So that's why I am going to clarify all those, even a single word. Okay. So that no one confusion is going to suspicious around all of you. Till now the lecture is over for this kinds of. Okay. So should I start today's session? So let's move to today's session, and I have already told you that we will just continue the NHRC, National Human Rights Commission, that I have started in the yesterday's session. So let's see that what I am going to move forward about NHRC. So let's see, and I am moving to the next slide. So see here. Okay. See to the next slide. Fine. So next slide. It will be coming and you will see the remaining things. Fine. So see here. It is about removal process. Yesterday I told you, okay, that how these persons are appointed, Okay, are the president or is the president is directly appointing those members of under the chairpersons or those 5 members? Because apart from chairman of NHRC and those 5 members of NHRC, apart from these 6 members, the other 7 members of NHRC is definitely a fixed one. Okay, those are the chairmen of different types of commissions. 7 commissions, I have already told you. Are it clear to all of you or not? If not, then please remember those facts. Otherwise, you are going to mistake 1 mark again. I am repeating this whole thing so that you will so prepared about the particularly the preliminary exams that no one what is going to confuse. Fine. So who will appoint? So a 6-member committee will sit. Okay. And who will lead those 6-member committee? Ultimately, it is the Prime Minister of India. That is right now Prime Minister of India is Mr. Narendra Modi. Somehow a controversial one, but it is upon a debate of matter. Okay, that which kind of, you can say, person is ruling in our country. That is a separate matter of debate. Okay, either that is a good or bad, whichever they are fulfilling his promises or not, it is a separate matter. Okay, you can debate on it. Fine, we will debate in a separate session again. So Prime Minister, as it said. So now a question is that is Prime Minister is playing his role perfectly or not? Okay, because nowadays controversial questions are coming regularly in UPSC examination, even in West Bengal PCS examination. Fine. So now controversial question come. So it is possible that based on these kinds of facts, a controversial question may come regarding to Prime Minister of India, because the freedom index of India is regularly downing. Okay, downing. So somehow India is moving towards you can call it not totally dictator, but somehow it's one man show right now in our country. If you disagree with us or agree with us, give your opinion, because nowadays UPSC is regularly asking about different types of debating type questions. So is India right now moving toward dictatorship or not? Don't compare with Afghanistan or Taliban. Fine, but you should understand that what the constitution have provided us and in which direction we are moving. Either it is a right way or wrong way. If you personally, in my opinion, definitely is going in wrong way. Okay, definitely for sure. So ultimately it is upon the top leadership of our country that are they playing the role well or they are moving towards only for few of the men of our country. Fine. So I am lifting all this to all of you. All you should understand that whichever our country is going on right now, 58% of our country GDP is in debt. Okay, that means out of the total wealth of India, 58% we are in debt. Just imagine it, debt. So under which circumstances our country is going on, even in talking inflation. Okay, so definitely it is not the right thing. Okay, we should behave according to our constitution. Fine. So I am lifting in this kind of lecture is too necessary for all of you for just understanding the primary things about, fundamental things about constitution. Okay, because there is debate going on that there is going attack, okay, or going attack on constitution or not. In my opinion, definitely yes, there is attack on constitution. So what's your opinion? Just give your opinion. Okay, because this kinds of controversial question may ask by UPSC, because UPSC is asking that question. Fine. Because relating to Bengal poll violence, okay, Bengal poll violence, UPSC has already asked the question. This is a controversial one. Fine. So somehow it is possible that on any day UPSC is going to ask the question. So now let's see and focus to our main topic. Yesterday I told you about appointment, so just now see and focus here about removal. Okay, so how the members that is chairperson and other 5 members only, not talking about those apart from 7 members, because those 7 members are really sure till now they are the chairman of those separate commissions, they will ultimately surely the member of NHRC. But right now I am talking only for 6%, that is chairman, and apart from chairman there are 5 members person. At least one should be woman, remember it. So what is the removal process? See, the chairperson or any member means not 5 plus 7 members. Any members means after chairperson I am talking about only for those 5 members. Only those are for 5 members, not for separate in third number 7 members. Okay, in number 3 I have talked about 7 members team from different commissions, so it is not about his removal. It is the removal process of chairman and only for those 5 persons, 5 members of NHRC. So the chairperson or any member can be removed from the office. Can be removed. Okay, definitely they are not fixed, they can be removed. Okay, removed before the tenure of his period. So removed from the office by the president. So see, president is appointing those persons, chairman, and it is the president who is removing, who has the power to remove even the chairperson of NHRC and the remaining 5 members of NHRC. President has power to remove, but not directly. See, under the following circumstances, there are some conditions. Under the following of those conditions, only then president can remove any one of those out of 6 persons. Even in appointment, president cannot directly appoint. Okay, president will appoint those 6 persons only on the recommendations given by a 6-member committee. And who are under the 6-member committee? Prime Minister, as it said. Second number, okay, second number which one? Union Home Minister, okay, leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha, deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha, and a speaker of Lok Sabha. These are the 6 members core committee who will give the name and suggestions provided to the president, and it is ultimately the president who will appoint these 6 members from chairperson to those 5 members. So is it clear to all of you that president can remove but not directly? Okay, so what are the terms and conditions regarding the removal of those 6 members? We will listen right now in next slide. So I am moving to the next one. So let's see what is the removal process. See, if he means any member, this is also for chairperson or for 5 person. So out of those 6 persons, he means any one of those 6 persons of NHRC. So if he is adjudged and insolvent means they have taken money from bank, NBFC companies, and they have not paid. Okay, they have not paid money to those NBFC and banking. Okay, that's why they are called as insolvent person. So if they are insolvent persons, then on the basis of that insolvency process, president can remove that person from NHRC, even remove chairperson of NHRC. Is it clear? Number second, if engaged during his term of office in any paid employment outside the duties of his office, means if any of the 6 persons including chairman is working in NHRC, and if any one of those 6 persons is receiving money out of NHRC commission, okay, for any other kind of job, fine, then that is illegal. If you are working in NHRC, you cannot work in any other institutions. Getting it? So if anyone is doing in that incapacity, then president has the power to remove those 6 persons including chairman of NHRC. I hope both these things are clear to all of you. So it's time to move on other slides. Okay, and that will see some other removal process. So let's see. If he is unfit to continue in office by reason of infirmity of mind or body. It means if any person is working in NHRC, okay, out of those 6 persons, if anyone is working in NHRC, including chairman, I am repeating it again and again, including chairman of NHRC, fine, and if they are not capable to handle the matter because of their mind is not working properly in a proper way, fine, due to some medical emergency or any kinds of things, okay, if there are bodily physically activities not working properly to deal with the matters of NHRC related issues, then definitely president has the power to remove chairperson as well as those 5 members from NHRC. So I hope it is also clear to all of you. So I hope till now all the 3 removal process about NHRC, removing process done by President of India, but only on these terms and conditions. Till now I have applied those 3 commissions. Okay, so we will see the 4th one. So let's move to the next slide. See, if he is of unsound mind, unsound means what? Okay, many one is confusing in this one, unsound mind. Unsound mind means if there is just assume that if there is a 5-member core committee, any core committee, okay, fine, and the voting has been done and one act has been passed, one issue has been passed by majority, okay, if 3 people are in support of that and two people are opposing, then definitely that rule is going to be passed from that core committee. Even after passing it, the other two members or one of those two members are going against that thing. Okay, so it is called as unsound mind. That unsound mind means even after going through the whole process, even then you are not behaving in such a way according to the rules and regulations. Fine, that is person is called as unsound mind. So if anyone is unsound mind and a stand so declared by a competent court, means fine, means what? I hope till now it is clear about unsound mind. Or if anyone has been declared, any person has been declared, any member of NHRC, even inclusion of which one? Chairman of NHRC, if anyone will be declared by competent court, means competent court means what? Competent court means you can call it from session court to Supreme Court, from session court to Supreme Court, from lower to upper. Okay, if any competent court declared any of those 6 members that this person is not working properly and that the mind has also looks like it is unsoundful. Okay, if any court is declaring his decision in this way, then president has also the power to remove those persons, including chairman of NHRC and those 5 members of NHRC. President has the power, but it is not like that president has to remove. It is upon the president that even after any person in unsound mind, then it is not necessary that president will remove him from NHRC. No, it is not necessary. Okay, these are terms and conditions. On the basis of terms and conditions, president can, I am repeating this word can means president just, it is not mustly that president will remove. President can, if president will find that this person is not really now handful to this NHRC commission, then president can remove any one of out of those 6, even inclusion of chairman can remove from NHRC. Okay, if president feels like that. Okay, I hope till now it is clear to all of you. So for other understanding, I am moving to the next slide. So now let's see. If he is convicted, if he means either chairman or those 5 persons in which at least one woman must be necessary. So if out of those 6, if anyone is convicted and sentenced to imprisonment from any offense, okay, if anyone has done certain kind of offenses, means crimes, okay, if any out of those 6 persons of NHRC, inclusion of chairman of NHRC, have done some kinds of offense, okay, offense, any kinds of offense like corruption, okay, any kinds of even murder, kidnapping, anything, any kinds of offense is against him, and on that offense, if that person is convicted, so see, offense and conviction is different things. Okay, just stay with us, I am telling you. See, if you are going on road, just assume that this person A is driving his motor vehicle on this road, okay, and he has hit 3 of the other vehicles, motor vehicles, okay, B, C and D. Okay, A has hit 3 of motor vehicles here and there is a collision between all those 4, okay, and 2 persons really got injured, really injured in a very bad way, okay, in one of the worst way. Fine. Then what will happen? Let's see. If he has collided with and he hit these, means accident has taken place, then it is called offense. It is not conviction. It is termed under only offense. It is just a charge. Offense means charge. Okay, charge has been applied on them for any kinds of crime. Offense doesn't mean that anyone is guilty. Offense doesn't mean that any person is guilty. So this is only offense. So after offense, if FIR will be registered, then charge sheet will be prepared against this person A. Fine. And this charge sheet is called as convicted person. Okay. So I hope you are getting the differences between offense and conviction. Have you heard about that? Offensive person and convicted person. So those are not the same things. Offense doesn't mean that that person has done the crime. Offense is just for now the primary things, that is FIR has been registered. Now if charge sheet is prepared after FIR, that is called as convicted person. Fine. Are you getting it or not? So these are the things. So if anyone has done any kinds of offense out of those 6 members, then if that person has got punishment of imprisonment, okay, means jail, then president has the power to remove those persons, including chairman of NHRC, to remove from the commission of NHR, that is National Human Rights Commission. So are the whole things are clear to all of you or not? Okay, these are the simplest one. Even if this is not clear to all of you, then listen me, you have to really watchful it again. Okay, then only you can move further lecture. So for upcoming slide, first of all I have to erase it. After that I will move to the next slide. Okay, so I am telling my cameraman to move to the next slide. Till now I will just erase the whole things. That is Baba. Okay. So Baba, please just move to the next slide. Proved misbehavior or incapacity. In the simple way, proved misbehavior means what? Just assume that. See, here is a cabinet minister. Giving the simplest example. Here is prime minister, who is the head of the cabinet minister. Prime minister, even not only the head of cabinet minister, but apart from that, prime minister is the head of all the councils of ministers. But just assume a short example. Here is a cabinet minister, here is a prime minister. Prime minister as its head of cabinet minister. Now if any meeting has been take place, cabinet meeting, prime minister has definitely chaired that meeting. Prime minister will lead that meeting if he is available. Then if any decision will be made from that meeting, okay, like all parents have to adopt only 2 children if this policy has been regarded by this cabinet meeting, like 2 children, just for hypothetical example. Okay, as right now it is going on, particularly in UP because of election campaigning. Fine, these are actually the campaigning parts of particularly the NDA government. Okay, so 2 children policy right now because of election in UP, that's why it is so unnecessary. Otherwise there will be no election in UP, there is no ongoing matter on this. Okay, only because of votes this kinds of matter is fluctuating by NDA's parties. So just see here it is prime minister who is leading this cabinet ministers. Okay, and if a decision has been taken by cabinet minister that by executive resolution we are saying that this is a policy, that 2 children policy in India. Okay, this is a good thing actually. I am not talking about this is not a good thing, this is a good thing, but there should be applicable in the whole country, not like looking like elections. Okay, for benefit of elections. Do your work but with your right intention, don't with your or only for voting. See, keep in mind it. Proving misbehavior or incapacity means actually what happened. See, if any, after passing this resolution, if any cabinet minister, okay, walking out from this meeting after over of meeting and saying in media or any other channels or any other things on any other platforms that this is not a good thing, okay, this is not a good thing, then definitely this cabinet minister is termed as proving misbehavior or incapacity, because ultimately this is bounded by cabinet minister. You cannot go against this cabinet decision. Fine, because any decision will be passing only after voting, and since prime minister is its head, so ultimately it is the prime minister who will take final decision. So no one has the right to say that this decision is wrong. No one, particularly for cabinet ministers, or anyone can call it that this is wrong decision. But you are, since a member of this cabinet committee, you cannot call it. That is called as proving misbehavior or incapacity. That is the word. But in this terms and condition, again listen. However, in this case, if any 6 members of NHRC will be termed under this proven misbehavior or incapacity, then president cannot directly remove those persons. First of all, in this type of cases, the president has to refer this matter to the Supreme Court of India, and Supreme Court will sit an inquiry. Okay, after that inquiry, what happened we will see in next slide. So till now here it is clear that president cannot directly remove, only for this terms and condition, not for the whole one, and president will refer this matter to the Supreme Court of India, and Supreme Court will set to an inquiry for that matter. Now let's move to the next slide, that what happened to that inquiry. Let's see. After the setting of inquiry, if the Supreme Court after the inquiry uphold the cause, means uphold the cause means Supreme Court is also accepting that yes, this person has incapacity or proving misbehavior. Okay, so after the inquiry upholds the cause or of removal and advice, so then the president can remove only. Otherwise, in that terms and condition, in proving misbehavior or incapacity, president cannot directly remove. This question may come. Till now, UPSC has not asked this question, but this is so an important question, confusing one. Okay, because all the terms and conditions, there is no role of Supreme Court, but particularly in this case, proving misbehavior and incapacity, the role of Supreme Court came place. If Supreme Court will deny the fact presented by the president, then president cannot remove that person from NHRC. So see how Supreme Court is strong in our nation. Okay, how Supreme Court is strong in our nation. Not nowadays. Okay, not till now. In particular, now the Supreme Court is not as strong as earlier one. Okay, I am just saying it. Okay, in my opinion, it is my opinion. Fine. So I hope it is covered to all of you. So should I move to the next one? If any other remaining, otherwise I will finish the classes here itself. Yes, it is remaining. Right now we will talk about salaries and allowances. Okay, actually who is going to fix the salaries of members of NHRC, chairperson of NHRC? What are the allowances they get? What are the different facilities they get? So about facilities, it is not important for our examination purpose. For facilities, it is only a matter of debate. Okay. So salaries and allowances, this question is regularly asking. Minimum one question in UPSC pre examination almost each and every year based on salaries and allowances of different types of bodies: election commission, president, vice president, prime minister, cabinet minister, leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, NHRC, SHRC, okay, advocate general, different things. So salaries and allowances, definitely one question is going to come each and every year, last 6 to 7 years. You can see the previous year question too. So I am moving to the next slide, and we will some more details about salaries and allowances of members and chairperson of NHRC. But first of all, I have to erase it, otherwise it will be not properly visible to all of you. So let's see. The salaries, allowances and other conditions of service. Conditions of service means even if you are joining any private sector job, then there are conditions of service mentioning in your joining letter. In government sector jobs too, in any of types of posts, even in the types of post of prime minister too, there is restriction that you cannot do these things. There is restriction. So even in these posts, there is restrictions. What are the conditions of service? You cannot go beyond these conditions. Okay. So the salaries, allowances and other conditions of service of NHRC, okay, of the chairperson or other member, here not an order, it is other member, are determined by the central government. So a question may come that the salaries, allowances and terms and conditions of members of NHRC has been fixed by the Parliament of India. Okay, has been fixed by the Parliament of India. So it is correct or incorrect? It is definitely incorrect. Definitely incorrect. This is really somehow totally exceptional one, because in most of the cases it is the Parliament of India. Even for Chief Justice of India, it is the Parliament of India who will going to decide that the salaries and allowances of Chief Justice of India. Most of the cases decided by Parliament of India, and based on the Consolidated Fund of India. Consolidated Fund of India. I will teach a separate session about the funds of India, consolidated fund, contingency fund, different types of fund. Okay. So it is fixed by central government, means whichever union government is going to decide that ultimately these are the salaries you will get about the members of NHRC and even the chairperson of NHRC, then definitely that will be gettable by all those persons, even for chairperson. So I am moving to the next slide. If anyone is remaining, definitely 1 or 2 is remaining. Yes, but there is something exception. See, but they cannot be varied to his disadvantage after his appointment. Are you getting it? But they cannot be. They means salaries and allowances and conditions of service. All these three things: salaries, allowances and conditions of service. But salaries, allowances and conditions of service cannot be varied to his disadvantage after his appointment. Means what? Just I am giving a simplest examination. See, okay, a simple example. Sorry. See, if there is chairperson, okay, chairperson of which one? NHRC. See, and there is 5 members. 5 members of NHRC. Got it? And salaries and allowances will also cover those 7 members too, because they will also give us some of salary. Okay, so salaries will be the fixed by the central government. So see, 7, 5, 12 and this is 13. So total 30 members in NHRC. Are you getting it? So see, if chairperson is appointed right now today, means just assume that at 1st of January this chairperson has been appointed of NHRC, or anyone, you can take an example like this 5% is appointed on 1st of January or 7%, anyone. If anyone out of them has been appointed on 1st of January 2021, and suppose that central government, that is India government right now, has fixed the salary that is 1 lakhs, okay, 1 lakhs. 1 lakhs per month, not annum, okay, 1 lakh per month. Anyone can edit this video and I will pay for it, okay, that's why it is necessary to mention here. So see, 1 lakh per month, fine. So it means this slide says that after his appointment, central government of India cannot reduce his salary. He can increase his salary, he can increase his allowances, he can increase his salaries, he can increase his allowances, okay, but central government cannot, okay, cannot do any kinds of misactivity with conditions of service, and even central government cannot reduce his salary, cannot reduce his allowances, okay. That is called as where to his disadvantage, means if salaries will be reduced, then definitely that is a disadvantage, fine. So it is not possible. So by this example all of you are getting it. I hope this is one of the simplest example till now I have provided to all of you, fine. If you are confusing in it, just contact to our team, the 3-member core committee name I have already taken, okay. So if any other remaining I will cover, otherwise I will finish my lecture itself. So let's see, yeah, all these things means, let's see, are you getting in the whole thing, that even the removing process of NHRC members is not so easy. There is some terms and conditions. Why, even if you are thinking that why these are given, why it is not like that this can be easily removed, because government of India wants 1990s, government of 1993 of India wants that NHRC should be an autonomous body. Autonomous means no one is going to interfere like CBI, not like 12 PM raid on CBI headquarters, not like that. It is against our Constitution of India. So autonomous body. So you can debate on that till now at right time, it's CBI or ED is a autonomous body or not. Okay, so definitely 99% it is not till now. So it is to secure autonomy, means it should be autonomous body. When you will give, okay, a secure to his job, only that person can make bold decision even against the government of India. Are you getting it? If you are making me election commissioner of India and you are just, it is easy to remove me by single step, then how I will take bold steps against you? How I will take? Only I will take bold action, bold decisions only when there is a process, okay, long process and rigid process to remove me from as a election commissioner of India. That's why there are terms and conditions mentioning, salaries mentioning that you cannot reduce his salary once keeping it, okay, you cannot reduce allowances. So it all thing has been done to just to secure autonomy of the NHRC and independence of NHRC, that NHRC will work independently, okay, government of India will not interfere in it. And impartiality means, just simple example, here one of my friend is standing here, A and B both are standing, okay, I have this only this marker. If both are asking for this marker, then if I will give him to this, then definitely that is impartiality, okay, that is partiality, that is not impartiality. Even after I am giving this marker to person B, my friend B, that is also partiality. So since I am a statutory body, so I should be impartial, okay, no one should I favor it. That's why government of India have done all those things to, that's why that NHRC will be an independent body, autonomous body and impartial body. Impartial means not in favor to any of one, means not in favor particularly in government of India. So I hope so that functioning of the commission will be going on in a smoothly way. Okay, that's why all these things have been mentioned. So I hope today's session is really interesting for you, all of you. If any other remaining, I will cover, otherwise I will finish it itself. So all the slides here it is finished. Okay. So thank you to all of you. We will meet tomorrow again. Okay, till that time just revise the whole lectures, because if you will miss any of the lectures, the upcoming lectures is not going to help you at all. Okay. So thank you so much. We will meet tomorrow again. Thank you.